o wau o lana kila mengwau. I'm coming to you today as a candidate running for the Office of Hawaiian Affairs Hawaii Island Resident Trustee. It is my honor to be able to put my name forward to serve my community. I was born and raised here in the district of Hamakua, in the small sugar plantation town of Honoka'a, and raised just Mauka here in the forest of Ahualoa. This is my home. As a Kanaka Maoli, I've been here for generations, and I intend for my descendants to be here for generations to come. This is my home. I am deeply invested in the total well-being of this environment, of our communities, of our kupuna, of our children. This is my home. And I have been honored to be able to be raised in such a beautiful place. But being raised here, I have seen the trials and the tribulations of our communities. And a lot of times I see that coming down to very poor governance, very poor leadership, putting profit before people. I've seen the plague, I believe it to be a plague, of a language to speak as if there is not enough here in Hawaii, as though there isn't enough for our people to thrive. Yet I descend from a people who thrived in these lands for thousands of years, so you cannot tell us that Hawaii cannot be bountiful within ourselves. Here now we are facing some of the most challenging times in human history. Right now, especially in the modern age where we are shut down due to the COVID virus. But let us not forget that so many of these challenges that we face today has been the norm for many of us in Hawaii. Homelessness, Kanaka Maoli make up the highest percentage of those who are homeless in their own ancestral homelands. Yeah. Lack of income. Hawaii is one of the most expensive places to live, where the cost of living has quadrupled, yet the average pay rate has been stalemate. The Office of Hawaiian Affairs has a very important responsibility, particularly to take care of the Native Hawaiian people, as do many other Native Hawaiian trusts. So when I look at the statistics and I see how much of a struggle it is for our people, I have to ask that question: where are these offices? Where are these trusts? Are they doing enough? And if not, why not? So I have been led to engage myself in this process to bring about bravery and bring unity back to the people of Hawaii with the office that is meant to serve them. I ask for your support today now. Vote for me, Lanakila Mangwao, for the island of Hawaii, OHA trustee.
Aloha, my name is Kylea Lindsay, and I am running for the Office of Hawaiian Affairs Hawaii Island Trustee seat. I was raised in Waimea and live here in Kaihai on Hawaii Island. This is where the values that I carry to this day, hard work, sacrifice, putting others before myself, humility, and honesty, were impressed upon me. These guide me in everything I do, and my commitment to you as an OHA trustee is that I will approach each day focused on my commitment to be a servant leader for the people of Hawaii. I have nearly 2 decades of experience working with communities across Hawaii on complex issues at the county, state, and federal levels. I will listen to all perspectives and work cooperatively with my fellow trustees, OHA administration, the community, and all other stakeholders to develop and implement solutions. Recently, the OHA board has engaged in a spirit of cooperation that I feel is unprecedented. They have developed procedures to improve transparency, consistent decision making, and fiscal responsibility. I am familiar with these procedures and all OHA operations and feel that I will be able to get to work from day one. I believe OHA must focus on three basic issues: health, education, and economic stability. We must increase our partnerships in the community with direct service provider and subject matter experts to provide solutions. At the federal level, we have an excellent working relationship with our congressional delegation, and that must continue to ensure funding and support for Native Hawaiian programs. I believe OHA must take initiative in economic opportunities, the development of our 30 acres of land in Kaka'ako Makai, agribusiness such as farming and aquaculture, and high technology are just some examples. OHA must increase our presence in each island community to share what we are doing and receive input from our beneficiaries on what their concerns are and how we can help. OHA's work to benefit the conditions of Native Hawaiians benefits all of Hawaii. Please visit my website, kyolalindsay.com, or my Facebook page, Kylea Lindsay for OHA, to find out more. And I humbly ask you to vote Lindsay for OHA, Hawaii Island. Mahalo.
Aloha, I am Luana Alappa, your candidate for the Office of Hawaiian Affairs Molokai Trustee seat. I'd like to first share a little of my background and my purpose in running for OHA. As a single Native Hawaiian mother, a University of Hawaii graduate with a degree in psychology, I've had to be both mother and father in raising my 4 children, 2 biological and 2 Native Hawaiian foster siblings. I know all too well the struggles single parents face, especially financially, yet I was determined to work hard. I started several small businesses, owned 2 retail shops, a modeling school and agency, a production company, and recently I obtained my state license to be an independent insurance agent. I've also involved myself in many community service projects. I currently reside in Ho'olehua, Molokai on 5 acres of my late father, Stanley Alappa's homestead land. Growing up, my sisters and I have spent part of our lives with our father, Stanley, and his second wife on Molokai, and the other half spent with our mother, Kawana Kanahele Pukahi, and stepfather in Laie Oahu. Now that I'm an empty nester, I found myself returning back to my father's land a year ago to make his master blueprints for the development of his property a reality. I knew this is where I was meant to live the second half of my life. To be of service to others was an important value my father instilled within us and was the catalyst for me deciding that while I'm in Molokai, I could do more for our Hawaiian people by being of service to them as an OHA trustee. With lots of prayers and support from Ohana and friends, on June 2nd, 2020, I registered as an official candidate for OHA. Here are some of the things I'd like to see done as trustee for OHA. I believe greater care of OHA's assets and transparency of funds are important in order for us to move forward. For OHA to be fully functional, working as one in harmony, the only hope here is the changing of the old guard and bringing in fresh, new energy and new ideas, helping to change policies and put into place positions that prevent the kind of flagrant misconduct we've seen over the years. I hope to restore trust, leadership, accountability, and to develop critical programs to help improve the conditions of our Native Hawaiians so that all of Hawaii will benefit as well. I have several goals as trustee, God willing, and one of them is to see our houseless, homeless Native Hawaiians who are living on their own ancestral land with a roof over their heads in the immediate future. I believe we can make Hawaii a better place to live and enjoy a quality of life we are all deserving of. Your support of me as OHA Molokai trustee is greatly appreciated. Please visit my website, alapaforoha.com. Mahalo.
My name is Colette Machado, and I'm seeking the position for the trustee for the Office of Hawaiian Affairs for Molokai Lanai. I am a Native Hawaiian, a kupu aina born and raised on Molokai. I live with my husband, Marina Kudagao, and we reside at Puko'o. I was a high school dropout, but earned a bachelor's degree in education from the University of Hawaii, Manoa. My grandfather, Zachariah Pali Pahapu, was one of the 6 original pioneer homesteaders which helped establish the Hawaiian homesteading program in 1921 at Kalama'ula. I am an incumbent seeking re-election for the trustee position for Molokai Lanai. I have served many years of public service on numerous boards and commissions, including the State Land Use Commission, the Hawaiian Homes Commission, the Kaho'olawe Island Reserve Commission, and the Molokai Island Burial Council. I obtained tremendous personal experience, including working with elected officials at the legislature, and established effective leadership with my peers while serving on these numerous boards and commissions. My community involvement includes Protect Kaho'olawe Ohana, which stopped the bombing of Kaho'olawe and returned the island to the people of Hawaii. I serve as a past board member of Ka'ohana o Kalaupapa, which preserves the history of Kalaupapa and its patients. I served as the founding president of the Molokai Land Trust, which owns and manages 1,800 acres located at Mokio and Kawaikapu, Molokai. I am a member of the Holy Hua Hawaiian Civic Club. My kupuna have always said, finish what you start. I still have unfinished work to complete. OHA still needs to transition to a Native Hawaiian nation for the full exercise of Native Hawaiian self-governance. OHA still needs to earn the unconditional aloha and trust of our community. OHA needs to play a principal role in advancing for Native Hawaiians, especially in rural communities, cultural kipuka, in the post-pandemic recovery. I have experience in building government, business, community partnerships to support the recovery of Native Hawaiian communities and community-based entities. The primary issue for OHA and the County of Maui is to find ways to address the hardships and sacrifice suffered by our communities because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We need to uplift our people and work for the recovery of our economy. It will be a long road to recovery. I feel that OHA's role is to build relationships with government and business to support our community organizations working on the ground to build a more sustainable economy. We've learned that we cannot rely solely on tourism to sustain us in times of pandemics and recession. This is a time for us to work together, Hawaiian and non-Hawaiian, for the well-being of our communities. I believe that fulfilling OHA's mission to serve Native Hawaiians will benefit everyone in Hawaii on the path to recovery. Ua mau ke ea o ka aina I ka pono.
Aloha mai kākou. Greetings, friends. I'm Dr. Kelii Akina, and I'm running for re-election as your OHA trustee at large. This is an important election in which every registered voter has a right and a duty to vote. I thank you for this opportunity to share what I stand for. But first, let me tell you about myself. I attended Kamehameha schools, and as a youth, I learned the ancient arts of Hawaiian culture as a chanter for the halau of a renowned kumuhula. After going to the mainland for college, I came back and dedicated my life to working with Hawaii's young people as a Christian minister, first on the Waianae Nanakuli coast, mentoring Hawaiian teenagers, and eventually as president of Youth for Christ and founder of the Center for Tomorrow's Leaders. After earning master's and PhD degrees in philosophy and ethics, I taught at Hawaii Pacific University, and I am currently President-CEO of the Grassroots Institute, which advises government and business leaders on how to improve the economy and government. I'm passionate about helping Hawaiians and all people of the state to live by the aloha spirit and make Hawaii the best it can be. Currently, I live in Honolulu, where I'm a husband and father of 4 grown children, all of them graduates of Kamehameha. When I became a trustee in 2016, OHA's reputation was at an all-time low. There were serious concerns over the financial management and ethics of the board. I fulfilled my campaign promise to stand up and successfully challenge the system. I fought hard to rid the agency of fraud, waste, and abuse. Despite opposition, I championed a historic independent audit, which is now the blueprint for change. And in the midst of a scandal where many trustees had abused their personal trustee allowances on lavish expenses, I refused to take any funds and returned $44,400 to OHA beneficiaries. Although frequently a lone voice, I also successfully worked with and influenced other trustees. For example, the board unanimously approved my independent audit proposal and has adopted policies for financial reform, which I promoted when first elected. Today, OHA is on track to better serving the Hawaiian people. But to make sure that needed reforms take root, it is crucial for me to be re-elected. I have a 3-point plan to develop the land and resources of OHA's trust fund to meet the needs of Hawaiians. First, protect the trust through audits and sound fiscal policies. Second, grow the trust by developing the financial potential of Kaka'ako Makai and other properties. And third, use the trust to meet the real needs of Hawaiians for housing, jobs, education, and health care. When elected, I fulfilled my campaign promises to bring needed reforms to OHA. Now, in 2020, I humbly ask for your vote to serve a second term as your trustee at large in the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Vote Akina.
Aloha, my name is Souza, your candidate for OHA trustee at large. I'd like to thank Akaku Maui Media for the opportunity for us as candidates to engage with Hawaii's voters. I'm a proud graduate of the Kamehameha Schools, class of 2002. In my day job, I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker Pacific Properties. I'm an entertainer with the Grammy-nominated group Nahoa and also serve on the board of directors for the Hawaii Academy of Recording Arts. I'm a proud father of 3 keiki, Bentley, 9 years old, who attends Punahou School, my son Royce, who is 6 years old and attends St. Louis School, and my 1-year-old baby girl, Presley. I am married to my wife, Mahina, and we reside out in Kapolei on the island of Oahu. I'm running for OHA trustee for my family, our communities, and the state of Hawaii as a whole. It is very important that we work together to create a better Hawaii for all. Although the Office of Hawaiian Affairs has a lot of great qualities, we can definitely do more to support our beneficiaries. As trustee, my priorities include community outreach, economic development, criminal justice reform, and education and sustainability. Some of the top issues facing Maui: the ongoing battle of water rights, climate change, the overflow of Wailuku River in 2016, overcrowded prison systems, illegal short-term vacation rentals, and rising property taxes. Kawai Ola recently did a cover story on how increasing land taxes are forcing Hawaiians off their lands. To support resort development, the county has rezoned properties from agriculture to residential and commercial, therefore increasing the land tax. The solutions to these problems lie within our individual communities. It's about having a voice and a seat at the table from the very beginning. We must listen to our communities or different designated leaders within those communities to meet their needs. The solutions to these issues must be tailored specific to each area. Our island communities need a voice. OHA's beneficiaries need a voice. Please visit my website at souzaforoha.com. I'd love to hear from you. I humbly ask for your support. Vote Souza for OHA, and let's work together to make a better Hawaii for all. Aloha.